Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good day everyone. Okay, so we continue from where we stopped before. Okay, when we stopped before. Okay. After going through line by line the consolidated statement of financial position, so the last item in the non-current asset is actually investment in R. Investment in R, bear in mind, it is not eliminated because it has never been consolidated and it is an associate company. So we need to calculate the investment in R. Okay, so if you remember, the formula that we use is actually, okay, so in your book, page 509, so our formula is actually investment at cost at post-acquisition profit or loss. So post-acquisition profit and loss is also influenced by item that influence the profit and loss. For example, if there is additional depreciation, if there are intercompany transaction that you need to eliminate the profit part. So it is influenced by okay, so it is probably so it is influenced by intercompany transaction or fair value adjustment, etc. Okay, so this okay, and also post-acquisition share in OCI, dividend and impairment. Okay, so in this case there is a few items that will affect investment in R. So if you look at the question, okay, so if you look at the question, okay, if you look at the question, okay, so there are a few items that will affect the profit and loss, okay, of R, which eventually will affect the investment in R. Okay, so first, fair value. Fair value now is 5 million, which is more than the carrying amount. Okay, so first is actually the fair value. So the remaining life of the plant is 5 years. Okay, so okay, so it will be depreciated by if straight line basis you divide by 5. Okay, so the consequence is actually depreciation. So depreciation will affect. So this one is actually depreciation yang akan affect. And then there will be also intercompany transaction. During the year, H sold inventories to both S&R at invoices price of 1 million and 3.3 million. Okay, so 3.3 million. It sells goods to its investee at cost plus 10%. Okay, both S and R have not sold any of these goods. So the the remaining balance, the 10% of the remaining balance will affect the profit and loss. Okay, so like we have discussed just now. Okay, so this is what you call unrealized profit. Unrealized profit. Another thing is actually, and the last one is actually, if you remember, impairment of goodwill. Impairment of goodwill also included. Okay, so that is actually impairment of goodwill on, if you remember, kita kira goodwill kan, so we will calculate the goodwill before. What is the working for goodwill? So this is working for goodwill. Okay, so this goodwill is actually, if you look at the question, if you look at the question, there is impairment of goodwill. Sini kan, impairment of goodwill. Okay, so impairment of goodwill by 6 million. So impairment of investment in R. Okay, so impairment of goodwill. Impairment of investment in R lah. So goodwill lah. So amounting to 6 million. So this adjustment will affect the balance. Dia akan affect the balance. Dia akan affect the balance here. Okay. So this adjustment will affect the balance. So here impairment of goodwill. Lepas tu intercompany transaction, dia akan influence profit and loss. Depreciation pun influence profit and loss. So that is why there are such adjustment. Okay, so you understand Okay.